Hello, my name is Mara Jane, and you're listening to The Unseen Perspective. Hello, and welcome back to The Unseen Perspective. I'm your visually impaired host, Mara Jane, and today we will be continuing the Assistive Technology Inventory. So, this is number 2, and today we are going to be discussing the Victor Reader Stream. So, the Victor Reader Stream is an audiobook reader, basically. That's fundamentally what it does. You can also use it to listen to podcasts, tune into the radio, and I think you can even look stuff up on Wikipedia. I haven't really figured that out yet, though. But, yeah, so it's all contained within a little gray rectangle, and on it, it has a keypad with numbers 1 through 0. It has a sleep timer, a sleep button with a little moon on it. And it has play pause at the bottom with rewind and fast forward. And up on top, it has some multifunction keys, so you can use these to make bookmarks, go to different bookshelves, delete books, things like that. On the side, we have the power button and up-down volume. You can also change it so you can adjust the speed or the tone using those same buttons. On the top of the device, you have a place where you can insert an SD card, and you have an earphone jack. On the other side, there is some plug. I don't know what it's for. But there's a plug and another button, and then on the bottom, you have a charger port, so that's where you plug it in. And then on the back, it just has some grippy strips, so if you set it down on a counter, then it won't slide around everywhere. Okay, so without further ado, let's turn on the Victor Reader Stream. I just call it my Victor Stream.
Welcome to Victor Reader.
There it is.
Volume 10.
Okay, so let's go to my bookshelf by pressing 1.
Bookshelf. Internet radio 2. Connected to Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Playlists.
It's connected to
Favorites.
Wi-Fi. But yeah, I was on the internet radio, so I guess I'll just show you that first. So that's how you listen to the radio. So using the let's see, the 2, 4, 6, and 8 keys. Oh, that's handy. You can navigate around, use them like arrows. So we're gonna go to search for a station.
2. Humanware. Search on uTunes.
And then we'll click the enter key, which I guess is like pound or something.
Browse by genre.
Sure, let's do that.
Adult contemporary.
And then you can use the up and down arrows to scroll through these.
Alternative. Bluegrass. Blues. Classic rock. Classical. Comedy. Country. Easy listening.
The time was adjusted automatically.
Oh, okay.
Country comedy. Classical.
Let's go to classical.
Please wait. Found results.
1000.
1.
Com Radio solo piano and solo guitar channel.
2.
Radio Swiss classic. Depth
3.
100.9 FM.
4.
001
So yeah,
classical 1.
you can just scroll through all those.
1.
Com Radio
But-
solo piano and solo guitar channel.
Let's click play on this one.
Bookshelf.
So yeah,
Internet radio 2. Playlists. Search on uTunes.
you can listen to all sorts of different genres of music, all sorts of different stations. There's a ton of stuff available. So let's go to another bookshelf and see what else we can do on here.
References 0. Files. Search on Wikipedia.
That's the Wikipedia thing. I don't. That's what I said. I didn't really understand. So, you know what? Let's try it out. So, enter.
Text to search.
So the way you type on here, it's like an old flip phone. So you use the keypad of numbers to type letters. So let's see. What should we search? Basement. shoot.
R S E M E N T.
Then we click enter.
Found results 50.
1 basement.
Podcast download completed.
A basement or cellar is one or more floors of a building that are completely or partly below the ground floor. Especially in residential buildings,
Press play stop to read the complete article.
Well, that was informative. I did. That was, okay, let's do it.
below ground floor of a building. For other uses, see basement, disambiguation. An unfinished basement used for storage. An exercise Chalon Castle, Chateau de Chalon. Basement to former Stasi basement hallway cellars are often used in pubs to keep beer barrels connected to the bar at ground level. A basement or cellar is one or more floors of a building that are completely or partly below the ground floor. 1 basement.
Cool.
Bookshelf. References 0. 5. Search on Wikipedia.
So, yeah, you can do that. But mostly what I use this for is not either of those features, although they are available. What I mostly use this for is listening to books and listening to podcasts. So let's go to the next bookshelf and explore those.
NLS Bard 23. Books 9.
Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins.
So I was listening to Mockingjay, and these are my NLS Bard books. So I have, I don't know, like 20 books on here, just downloaded from, you can download them right on here. You can search using the same typing method that I just demonstrated, or you can put in an SD card that already has audiobooks on it, but I usually just download them straight onto the Victor stream. So in order to play the book, you would just click play.
Yes, well deserved. The result is more than we'd hoped for. But I do have to question the wide margin of risk that you were willing to operate within. I know the raid was unforeseen.
And you can do the sleep timer so that if you're falling asleep or doing whatever, you can have it turn off after a certain amount of time.
Podcast download completed.
Yeah, it does that a lot.
Podcast download completed.
And
Podcast download completed. Podcast.
oh my gosh. Okay, well, anyways, so you can check the date and time by clicking on the little moon button.
11:30 hours. 6 May 2024.
And then you can fast forward chapters at a time using the arrow keys, or you can fast forward just like 5 seconds at a time using the fast forward key, and also same with rewinding. And you can check the information of the book by clicking on the 0 key.
Info.
Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins.
35 headings. Total time 9 hours 54 minutes 35 seconds. Time elapsed 2 hours 43 minutes 44 seconds. Time remaining 7 hours 10 minutes 51 seconds. 0 bookmarks in this book. 33 books. Internal memory space remaining 1.51 gigabytes.
So yeah, it's just that kind of thing. But as I said, these buttons on the side, default.
No SD card.
Oh, sorry. By default, they control volume, but you can click the power button to change what they control. So right now, obviously, it's volume, but if you click it, it does speed, and then if you click it again, it does tone, and then back to volume. So let's demonstrate that.
To send me to combat.
So
And she
volume.
doesn't know that I flagrantly disregarded orders, ripped out my earpiece, and gave my bodyguards the slip. What else have they kept from her?
Speed.
It was a tough call, says Plutarch, furrowing his brow. But the general consensus was that we weren't going to get anything worth using if we locked her in a bunker somewhere every time a gun went off. And you're all right with that? Asked the president. Gale has kicked me on the table before I realized that she's talking to me. Oh, yeah, I'm completely all right with that. It felt good doing something for a change. Well, let's be just a little more judicious with her exposure, especially now
Tone.
that the capital knows what she can do, says Coin. There's a rumble of assent from around the table. No one has ratted out Gale and me. Not Plutarch, whose authority we ignored. Not Boggs, with his broken nose. Not the insects we led into fire. Not Hainich.
No, wait a minute. Image is giving me a deadly smile and saying sweetly, yeah, we wouldn't want to lose our little mockingjay when she's finally begun to sing. I can note to myself, not to end up alone in a room with him, but it is clearly having vengeful thoughts over that stupid earpiece. So what else do you have planned? Asked the president. Plutarch nods to Cressida, who consults a clipboard.
Volume.
So yeah, and that little beep means that it's at the normal level, and the e means that you're at the top or the bottom, so you can't go anymore. So that's a little bit from the book reader aspect, which is probably the function that I use the most on here. And if you go one more bookshelf, you can look at your podcasts.
Bookshelf. NLS Bard. 23. Book. Podcasts. 8. Podcast feeds. 1.
Aggressive Negotiations, a Star Wars podcast, The Nerd Party.
I should point out that different Victor devices are arranged differently. Mine's just customized a certain way, so these are the bookshelves that I have. But obviously, everyone's is different, and every bookshelf has different things in it. Some people may have differently arranged bookshelves, things like that. This is just how mine is. So now we're in my podcasts bookshelf. So if we... Oh!
Podcast download completed.
Why are there so many downloading? Okay, well, anyways. So I'm on Aggressive Negotiations, which is a Star Wars podcast that I listen to. I have several different podcasts on here, though, so let's see.
2. 3.
Henry.
5.
Perpetual Motion Squad, a Big Bang Theory podcast. PMF.
4.
Jedi vs. Sith podcast. By Richard E. Sam.
3.
Henry Danger Universe with Myral Negrin.
2.
Discover podcasting at KSSB. Tech.
1.
Aggressive Negotiations, a Star Wars podcast, The Nerd Party.
So it's on Aggressive Negotiations, which is a Star Wars podcast that I listen to, but I have some other podcasts on here. For example, I actually have Discover Podcasting at KSSB.
2.
Discover Podcasting at KSSB, Tech Club, Kansas State School for the Blind, Mr. Taylor, Rich, Patrick, Mara.
Oh,
1. New episode.
there I am. Well, let's click on it.
1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to KSSB Discover Podcasting. I'm Ty. We've got Dan. Hello. Katie. Hello. And Miss Lydia. Hello. And today we are interviewing Miss Stephanie Smith, who is an art teacher in Kansas City.
Hello.
School Elementary.
Hi, everybody.
So,
And you can do the same thing with adjusting the speed and the volume and the tone on the podcast episodes too. So, as you can tell from this little podcast episode, there is a ton you can do on this little tiny rectangle, and I love it so much. But that is the Victor stream, or the Victor Reader stream, and that is only some of the stuff that it can do. That is obviously what I do the most on it, and plus that Wikipedia thing that we learned about together today. But yeah, it's one of my favorite assistive technology devices that I use. I definitely get a lot of use out of it. It's good for school, like when I have to read a book, or, if I want to listen to music while I'm studying or whatever. But it's also good just for personal use. I love to read, but reading print can be strenuous on my eyes, and I'm not the most proficient Braille reader, and sometimes I just don't feel like reading Braille, or, manually with my eyes or with my fingers. So I'll just click play on the Victor Reader stream and listen to a book, which I think is also a valuable mode of consumption, for lack of a better way of putting it. But yeah, and you can customize it. It's very versatile, so you can customize it pretty much however you want. And yeah, it's very, very handy dandy little tool and you can just carry it around in your pocket. It's very portable, very user friendly, very simplistic design, but also like it can do a lot of things. So it is definitely, I love it dearly. So that's all I have for you today. Sorry if that was a little short, but I hope you kind of got a good idea of how it works and found that interesting. But if you have any questions about that or anything else, or if you have any episode ideas, you can email me at theunseenperspective2024, or you can DM me at theunseenperspective2024 on Instagram. And if you want another great podcast resource about the visually impaired life, go listen to Discover Podcasting at KSSB, wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's, on a mobile device, on your computer, or on your Victor Reader stream. And then you can follow them on Instagram at KSSB Podcast, and I'm sure they would also be happy to answer any questions that you have. They have a lot of great resources that I'm sure they'd be willing to connect you with. So,
Podcast download completed.
oh, that's a really nostalgic little nugget of sound. But anyway, yeah, that's all. Please give us a listen on Spotify and YouTube. And if you're here, which obviously you are because you listened to the episode, hopefully, and not just skip to the end. But yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Just also a little nugget, I will be graduating tomorrow, so that's cool. Well, tomorrow by the time this is released, so Wednesday, May 8th. So I'll be graduating high school. It was definitely a trip, but I think it helped me grow as a person, and I think that's what matters. And I learned how to advocate for myself, and I got some cool devices that I got to try out, and a lot that I get to keep. So now I'm going off to college, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. So until next time, goodbye.